everyone, I am Janvi Pavar. Welcome back to my channel, or if you guys are new over here, then welcome to my channel. Alright, first of all, I'd like to wish you guys a Merry Christmas to whoever is celebrating out there. And now let's get started. So, as you guys have already seen the title, we're going to be talking about 5 steps that are going to help you in improving your English fluency. First of all, we need to understand what is fluency. So as Cambridge Dictionary describes fluency, it says that it's the ability to write and speak in a language easily and quickly. So what does that mean? It's very simple. If you are talking in English, then whenever you're speaking, it shouldn't feel like a pressure to you, you know? It should come natural. It should be easy for you, and you should be quick. Like, you should not get confused with too many words and too many rules and everything. So in this one, we're going to talk about how to improve your English fluency. Step number 1. So we are going to talk in steps. So we are going to go from step 1, then what is the next step that you guys are going to follow, then what's going to be the next one. So step 1 is vocabulary. Now obviously you can't become fluent in a language without words. If you do not have words, how will you form sentences? If you do not have sentences, how will you form dialogue, paragraphs, essays, and articles, and obviously conversation or a monologue, just like I'm doing one right now. So vocabulary. How are you supposed to build your vocabulary? Now I always say this, you do not have to cram vocabulary. Like, you do not have to pick out a book and then learn 10 different words and then cram them. This means that and that means this. No, don't do this. Instead of that, you are going to learn vocabulary through context. So I always say this, start from the basics. What kind of basics? The things that you have around you, you know, like a chair or a table, the things that you have in your house. There are many things. So do you know how to say everything in English? Like, when you go to the kitchens, do you know how to pronounce each word? Do you know what sugar is? Do you know what coffee is, what coffee powder is, what turmeric is, condiments, and more? So you need to learn how to say those in English, what those are called in English. So start with the basics, then go to an advanced level in your vocabulary. And how are you going to do this? Because a lot of students, they come up to me and they're like, we forgot, you know, we forgot all of the words. How can you forget? So you're not going to forget if you're going to learn with your surroundings. So learn words through your surroundings. You're never going to forget them. Why? Because you are going to keep on looking at those things on a daily basis, and that is how you build your vocabulary. All right, next one. So this is extremely important. Learn with your ears, not your eyes. So a lot of us, we're thinking, so all right, if we are reading, we're just going to keep on doing it like this, and then we think, okay, we got it. No, when it comes to a language, so you always learn with your ears. Listening leads to speaking, you know, great listening leads to great speaking. So if you're listening well, you're gonna speak well. So if you're reading anything, you know, if you're reading a book, if you're reading an essay or an article, so make sure you're reading it out loud. Why? Because when your lips are gonna be moving, when your mouth will move, so your ears are gonna listen to all of the words that you're saying. So improve English through your ears. Listen more and more. Now, obviously, you have to watch as well. Like, it can be a TED Talk, for example. It can be a movie, a podcast, or just listening to people talk. You know, for example, if I'm talking right now, then you listen to me. Listen to the kind of words that I'm using. Don't just look at my face and just, okay, fine. No. Listen to me, what I'm saying, how I'm using words, how I'm using different sentence structures, how I'm putting words in a context. You know, notice all of those things, because these are important. So always remember that you do not learn a language with your eyes, you learn it with your ears. So listen more and more. Next one, focus on idioms and phrases. A language is made up of idioms, phrases, sentence structure, and I'm going to give it 30% to phrases and idioms. It's important. Now again, you do not have to pick out a book to learn English phrases and idioms. All you have to do is you have to learn phrases and idioms through context again. Just like you learned words, now you're going to learn idioms and phrases through context. I think a lot of students, they make this mistake. They do not focus on these little things, which are actually important. The kind of idioms that you use in your native language are not the same kind of idioms English people use, you know, or native speakers of English use. They are different. The kind of phrases, the kind of idioms, they do not just translate it. It's way different. So you need to know how to use those idioms and phrases. And how can you do that? You can do that through listening. The more you're going to listen and read, the more phrases and idioms you're going to come across. Underline those, start using those, because that's important. Step number 4, because we've already done 3. So this is step number 4. Speaking. I mean, obviously, you really did not think that I'm not going to be talking about speaking with English fluency. Because when we talk about fluency, right now, we're talking about your speaking fluency. So you need to start speaking. Whatever words, new words that you learn, whatever new phrases and idioms that you learn, then start using them, start speaking. Even if you do not have anyone, start talking to yourself, monologue, start teaching people. Just think that there are students sitting in front of you, and then start teaching those students. So, all right, everyone, this is phrase number 1, and this is how you use it. This is idiom number 1, and this is how you use it. So start teaching, start saying stuff out loud by yourself, start speaking more and more. And this is the most important step. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I almost say this in every second or third of my video, that how important speaking is. So you're not gonna do something like, all right, we're gonna learn words, then we are gonna learn idioms, phrases, and now it's time to start speaking. No, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna wait for that. You are gonna start speaking, and obviously you need the right kind of confidence. So your confidence is not going to be like, I have to do everything perfect. You do not have to do everything perfect. You just need to be confident enough to speak. That is it. Like, confidence is not about being perfect. Confidence is about having the ability to start something without being embarrassed about it. This is confidence. So start speaking, and do not feel like, oh, people are going to judge me. I'm going to do this wrong and that wrong. Don't think about those things, they're beneath you. Instead, start speaking, carry that confidence, because you're doing it for yourself. And now let's talk about the last step, which is step number 5. Obviously, we have talked about confidence and everything. And you guys are aware of this, how much importance I give to pronunciation. Pronunciation is extremely important. You cannot be talking in a language with your native dialect. You need to talk in a language the right way. Like, it can be an Indian accent, an American accent, a British accent, an Australian accent, however you feel like it. For example, if I'm from Haryana, so I cannot speak English in a Haryanvi accent, because that'll sound extremely weird. So when you talk in a language, carry the grace of that language. If somebody's talking in Haryanvi with me, but with a Hindi accent, I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna be like, that is gonna sound funny and weird. Obviously, I'm gonna give kudos to the person for trying, but not the good one, not the good type, So make sure when you learn a language, you carry the grace of that language with you, because English has its own grace, Hindi has its own grace. And when you speak in that language with the right kind of pronunciation, yeah, you sound more beautiful. So start focusing on pronunciation. Whenever you're listening, make sure you're not just listening to words, but you're listening to how those words have been pronounced, how those native speakers or an advanced English speaker is pronouncing those words. And then whenever you're speaking, you pronounce them the same way. Perfect? All right. And this is the end of this video, 5 steps to improve your English fluency. I really hope that you guys start doing it, and I'm gonna give you guys 21 days that if you guys start doing it, if you guys do it continuously for 21 days, you're gonna see a difference. I always say this, it takes 21 days to build a habit. And as for me, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Before that, I'd also like to mention that all of my courses are out now, which are available on my website, which is www.janvpavar.com. And we have the basic English course, advanced English course, IELTS course, British accent, American accent. Go and check it out. The link is in the description box down below. Until the next video, bye everyone, stay safe.